Welcome back to Dream F1. This is already episode 9 of the 2022 season, and of course, as always, let's start with the news stories going into today's race. The drivers' market has been hit with more exciting news as silly season is still going strong. After Piastri has been confirmed to replace the retiring Alonso at Alpine, and Vettel announced that he'll move to Porsche come 2023, a cockpit at Aston Martin has opened up alongside team owner son Lance Stroll, who is already confirmed for 2023. That seat has now been assigned to freshly crowned Formula 2 champion Felipe Drugovich. He'll be the first Brazilian full-time driver since Felipe Massa retired after the 2017 season. This most certainly means that at least one of the current drivers will lose his seat in F1 for 2023, as Logan Sargent was also confirmed to drive for Williams alongside Alex Albon next season. That will put Perez, Ricciardo, Schumacher, Hülkenberg, De Vries, Latifi and maybe even Gasly and Kobayashi under immense pressure, as they don't have seats confirmed for 2023 yet. And there's more exciting news for next season. Earlier this year, rumors have arisen that Red Bull's junior team AlphaTauri may be for sale in order to divert more resources into RB's own engine program. It has now been confirmed that AlphaTauri indeed have been sold to a big car manufacturer. The entry will become a works team for the upcoming season. An official announcement and team reveal is planned ahead of the upcoming Japanese Grand Prix at Suzuka. Guess what team it will be in the comments. And less surprising news for next season, Ferrari announced they will keep their driver lineup for 2023. They're happy with the performance of both of their drivers, seeing that Leclerc is fighting for the championship, although he has just recently lost the championship lead to Verstappen, and Sainz has helped to close the gap to Mercedes in the Constructors' Championship. Our competitive outfit does not require any personal changes for 2023, the team stated ahead of their home race. Italian-backed Alfa Romeo also confirmed their drivers lineup of Bottas and Zhou for 2023, stating that they were happy with the solid performances of both drivers despite not having the most competitive car in the field. But before we get lost into thinking about the future only, let's head back to the current season and what awaits us today, as we're here at the final European round of the championship for the Italian Grand Prix at the legendary Monza circuit. This iconic 5.79 km long track has hosted an F1 race in every Formula 1 season ever since 1950, with the exception of 1980, when F1 moved the Italian Grand Prix to Imola for 1 year. This track with its very long straights is all about high speed. Expect the cars to look a little different this weekend, as all of the teams will be running with very flat wings to reduce drag and maximize speeds. Before going into today's race, let's first take a look at our fastest lap from qualifying yesterday. And Charles Leclerc is back in pole position just in time for Ferrari's home race, and George Russell this time will start alongside him, not Max Verstappen, who starts down in 4th and has also been beaten by Lewis Hamilton in qualifying. So Mercedes seems very strong here today. Sergio Perez then in 5th, good qualifying for the second Red Bull driver, finally not too far off his teammate Carlos Sainz then in 6th, Lando Norris best of the rest, Daniel Ricciardo also with a good qualifying in 8th, Fernando Alonso 9th, Zhou Guanyu completes the top 10, then we have ourselves in 11th, we start alongside Mick Schumacher, and then for the rest of the grid it is Tsunoda, Ocon, Gasly, Magnussen, Albon, Vettel, Hülkenberg, De Vries, Kobayashi, Bottas, and a Canadian last row once again with Latifi in 23rd and Stroll in 24th. And here we are in our grid position, waiting for the 5 lights to go out, and out they are, and away we go for the Italian Grand Prix here at Monza. Now it's a pretty long run towards turn 1, which is a very tight chicane, and this is always gonna be trouble, and we have trouble here as Joe switches lanes just ahead of us. We thought we could brake a little later, and then we run into his back. Very unfortunate situation. And we lose a lot of spots. We're down in 19th. Joe is spun round. I don't know where he is, but here we go for the first time towards Variante della Roggia. We are behind Nick De Vries now, and we feel like we have a little damage to our front wing as well. There is an Alfa Romeo once again trying to make it round ahead of the Lesmo 1 round the outside. That doesn't work, but now here is an opportunity coming up as we are losing a lot of ground to the cars ahead of us. You can already see that, and there goes the Alfa Romeo, and I think we really do have damage indeed. That is especially losing us time on the straight, so something is creating a lot of drag. I can't really see or know what it is, as there, look at that. Look at that Aston Martin just breezing past ourselves. Lance Stroll is that. He had a good start, so he's already up now into 19th from starting last. So good start for the Canadian. And now behind us is our teammate Kobayashi trying to make it past ourselves as well. And there he goes. Yeah, look how much straight line speed we are lacking. That should not be the case. Not at all. And there goes the Alfa Romeo. Oh, more contact. Both Alfa Romeos now behind us, if I've seen that correctly, in my rear wing. And yeah, lap 2. And we had such a strong starting grid position, once again in 11th. But now it is more or less a recovery job. And I think I will have to I'll need to pit pretty early in this race. Probably at the end of this lap I will do. Or, well, I can spoiler you, I will definitely pit at the end of this lap. And this, what happens here, is the reason. Look at that. Now, this is the run towards the Ascari chicane. And now, just look. There goes one Alfa Romeo. And the others pass us as well. But now let's look at what is going on at the top. Charles Leclerc still in the lead of this race, and George Russell, and look how much time they already gained on Hamilton and Verstappen, who are battling behind there as well. But now George Russell into lap 3 is trying to tag the Ferrari and take the lead here at the Italian Grand Prix, and he does so. Oh, almost making contact there through the second part of the Rettifilo chicane. But George Russell has taken the lead of the Italian Grand Prix. Is there now a chance for a counterattack for Charles Leclerc? No, there is not. And oh, here we are in for our pit stop. We are switching to hard tires to definitely make it to the end on this set. There is no obligation in Dream F1 to use 2 different tire compounds, by the way, as we just enter lap 3 and we are having now a new front wing, but we are down a lot now. And here are the 2 AlphaTauris going at it at the Della Roggia chicane. Oh, and Magnussen spins round Gasly and creates a roadblock, and that has caused a safety car. Great news for us, as we will be able to catch up to the back of the field, which we have done at this point. This is the end of lap 3 now with the safety car. Everyone lining up here behind George Russell and Charles Leclerc. Now this is very interesting. He is going for a pit stop, and so is Lando Norris. Sergio Perez as well, I've seen that. There is a Haas there in there as well, and what is that? A Williams. So lots of cars trying to get the pit stop out of the way here, and of course not lose too much time because they are instantly catching up to the back of the field. But Charles Leclerc, he wants to fight for the win here. He's now just behind us. We are up into 18th because we passed all of them thanks to the safety car. And even more remarkably, Charles Leclerc has chosen the soft tyres, but now here is the restart, and yeah, look at that, the straight line speed for us is back with that new front wing, so that was creating drag, definitely, as we already passed our teammate Kobayashi ahead of turn 1, but there goes Charles Leclerc already, and yeah, it does not really make sense to fight him, because one way or another, he will find a way past us. What we rather try here is just sticking to the back of him, and try to move with him through the field. Because one thing at Monza is the slipstream and the DRS, if we get it, that is such a great advantage, and you can gain so much time and maybe even fight cars that you usually wouldn't be able to fight. Well, anyway, the end of lap 5, Charles Leclerc still just ahead of us. He's trying to find a way past Nicholas Latifi in the Williams. That shouldn't be too much of a hard task for the Ferrari, and there he goes with DRS. Oh, we're gaining on both of them with that slipstream. Of course, Charles Leclerc had to move out of the slipstream to make it past the Canadian, which he does, so no issue there at all. And now let's try to slip past through Curva Grande ahead of the Variante della Roggia. Well, we're getting close. Late on the brakes. Not close enough. Oh, almost making contact with Latifi. No damage though. Just some tire-to-tire contact, banging wheels there through Della Roggia. We need to be careful. There's a Haas just behind us as well. But now with the DRS, look how much Latifi has already lost to Charles Leclerc. Oh, we tried the outside there. We thought he'd move to over a bit more, but he didn't do that. So one tire along the grass. But yeah, still we move past Nicholas Latifi through Ascari, and now towards the famous Parabolica we go. Not the greatest exit out of that corner. So Latifi is gaining on us. We have the Parabolica. He can even try to counterattack, but then we have the better line. And now early on the throttle through the Parabolica, and we stay ahead of Latifi and are now running in P15. Ahead of us, Charles Leclerc trying to make even more moves. Oh, behind us now with the slipstream DRS. Latifi is getting close once again. Oh, that is a massive battle here. Who's in there? Vettel. The two Alfa Romeos. Albon. And Aston... Yeah, Vettel is not Aston Martin. And of course Charles Leclerc. Ooh, and that Alfa has lost a lot. That is Joe Guan Yu. Once again, late on the brakes for Della Roggia, but a little too late on the brakes we were here. So Joe moves past once again. We did gain that spot. That was a good opportunity for us there, but we kind of messed that up. But now we should have DRS once again on the second DRS straight here. And we move past the Alfa Romeo and are now running in 14th. And then later, this is lap 9, and there is still an immense battle going on ahead of us, and Charles Leclerc is kind of stuck in there. He is still there in that DRS train, so it's hard to pass when everyone else around you has DRS, and Alex Albon is leading that group of cars. So that is quite remarkable. Of course, most of them will still have to stop. We don't. Charles Leclerc probably does not either. But now let's look as we try to make a move against Sebastian Vettel into turn 1, which we do. There is Charles Leclerc already stuck behind Magnussen and Albon. We move past Sebastian Vettel there. taking advantage of that situation ahead of us. But Vettel is still close here, out of Della Roggia. There he goes. We force him the long way round through Lesmo 1. Lesmo 2, same thing here. Oh, but we run wide a little bit, almost lose the car. This is a big opportunity for Sebastian Vettel, but he may even have been too close at that point. He has his rear wing open, but so do we. We were just close enough to Sebastian Vettel ahead of the DRS detection, so we just managed to hold on to P13 here. A little later down the road and, well, up the road actually, because this is the battle for second. George Russell still in the lead of this race, and Hamilton moves past Max Verstappen with the help of the rear wing and makes it a Mercedes 1-2 for now. Of course, they all have to stop, and Charles Leclerc still is, well, will gain track position if they stop now, and I think the pit stops should not be too far away either, as Max Verstappen through the parabolica looks to go alongside Lewis already there. And now Verstappen will be able to open his rear wing and should be able to breeze past the Mercedes on the main straight here. Once again into turn 1 they go, and Max Verstappen retakes second from Lewis Hamilton. So this is now a very interesting race with strategies being very different, but on track there's also lots and lots of action. There goes Lewis Hamilton once again trying to attack into Della Roggia. Oh, they make contact. Oh, and Hamilton just stays behind. So lap 18 now. Oh, and the Verstappen and Hamilton are now in the pit lane. We have already moved up big into the points because of people now making their pits. So of course now they will have the faster tires. And we move past the pit lane. We're in third because there you see it. Verstappen and Hamilton come out behind us as we battle with Fernando Alonso. You were able to see it there in the foreground. In the background, this is Mick Schumacher and Daniel Ricciardo getting it on. They're also on fresh tires. And yeah, it really worked out well for them. So they're fighting for some big points, but we are actually in the podium spots here. Just 8 laps ahead of the race end. I don't think we will be able to keep it because A, we are on hard tires, we're on used hard tires, and everyone else is on pretty new softs and in a faster car anyway. But let's see for how long we can keep Fernando Alonso behind, who has a big opportunity here today to finish on the podium for a second time this season. He did so in Silverstone, and he might be able to do so here as well. In the meantime, I can tell you, George Russell also making his pit stop from the lead. This will be very interesting. Charles Leclerc now running in second, but probably he will retake the lead of the Italian Grand Prix, and then it will be a tough job for him to defend from George Russell, who will be charging hard on his fresh soft tires. There we go. There is George Russell ahead of us. He comes out behind Charles Leclerc. So Leclerc back into the race lead to the delight of the Italian crowd. Oh, as we run wide into turn 1, this is the opportunity for Alonso. Alonso moves past. Oh, but catches the gravel there a little bit. We switch up our battery mode to turn up our battery mode actually to attack towards Rettifilo. This time we choose the outside line, later on the brakes, and we move ahead of Alonso once again. So that worked surprisingly well here. Oh, running right through the Lesmo, so the grip is really not the best one now on our tires. So I'm wondering how Charles Leclerc is still doing so well on his softs. Maybe it is also a graphical bug and he's actually having different tires on, but it just looks like the soft. Anyway, things are still working out for Charles Leclerc as he is in the lead here. But there goes George Russell starting lap 21 after they came around the parabolica. Yeah, but you can really see the grip of George Russell is just much better as he's ahead, even ahead the DRS zone of Charles Leclerc, and George Russell retakes the lead of the Italian Grand Prix. But this is now the situation for us. We rewinded a little bit here, in case you're wondering, as Alonso pretty much makes the same move as Russell did on Leclerc. But now, we don't have the DRS, but we have the slipstream. Alonso opens his rear wing, and yeah, no chance there. He can brake a lot later on his tires. He's a lot more confident of them, logically, of course. But behind us, there is also some very great action going on. This is a replay. This happened at the start of lap 20, so even a lap ago. Lewis Hamilton against Max Verstappen. This time not for second, it may later be for second. Let's wait how the race continues for them, because they are very fast on these tires. Hamilton into turn 1 moves past Max Verstappen, and it's awesome to see that. The 2021 title contenders getting it on here once again at Monza. Last time out, this ended in tears at the 21 edition of the Italian Grand Prix as Verstappen makes contact with Hamilton, banging wheels there into Della Roggia. And now a lap later, this is where Alonso took us, where Russell took the lead. Hamilton once again alongside Verstappen, going towards turn 1 with an open rear wing, moves over, covers Verstappen, and now doesn't leave him space at all. And that was almost a repeat of what happened in 2021, where they both retired at that exact corner. But this time Hamilton manages to take 5th and to even stay in 5th. And at the end, or towards the end of that lap 21, you can already see them big, filling our rear mirrors. And they will try to attack us shortly. There goes Hamilton already, trying to cover the inside line here, but look how much later they are able to brake. So Hamilton moves past, but I think that was even ahead of the DRS detection zone, so this might be an advantage for ourselves. Yes, we can open our rear wing, Hamilton can't, and this is a great opportunity to retake 4th of Hamilton. We do that, but only briefly, as once again he is able to brake later and retake 4th. And yeah, look at that exit, also much better than ourselves. So we really need to look that we don't lose too much time, because there's still more cars behind us. Schumacher and Ricciardo are also there fighting for P7 lately. So yeah, it will be pretty tough for us to keep cars behind us. Look at that, Max Verstappen already alongside us through Lesmo 1 and 2. We leave him the space, but we still have the DRS here, so we're still close enough to Hamilton. That saves us another day here. Yeah, look how much DRS gives you at this track as well. We've seen how powerful DRS is at the Hockenheimring as well, but here it's just almost ridiculous. Hamilton is able to go like a second a lap faster probably than us, but on these straights we can just gain that time back. But there goes Verstappen, and now we're down in 6th. I don't think we'll be able to attack Verstappen into turn 1 despite having DRS here, but maybe Max will be able to attack Lewis once again, very late on the brakes. Only a surprise attack there by Verstappen to retake 4th of Lewis Hamilton. Great overtake there by the Dutchman. And at the end of lap 23, there is another safety car. Once again, we thought about diving into the pit here to get some fresh rubber on, but it might not be worth it, because after the restart it will just be a sprint towards the line. I don't think we will gain enough, and this is what happened to cause the safety car. Oh, Lance Stroll! He has some sort of engine issue there, smoke coming out of the back of that Aston Martin. This is Carlos Sainz, who lost a lot and is fighting for the lower points positions here. Oh, and Sainz was caught out by Lance Stroll, even losing more spots. unfortunate race here for the second Ferrari. And this now, at the end of lap 24, we restart this race for a 2-lap sprint here at Monza. And the green flag is out, and there we go. It's a good restart from George Russell. Already a couple of car lengths between the Mercedes and the Ferrari of Charles Leclerc. Charles Leclerc is busy here with his old tyres. He, of course, didn't make it into the pits either, because the advantage would not be big enough with just 2 laps to go here. And there goes Alonso for P2. Alonso ahead of De La Roggia takes that position off Charles Leclerc. Brilliant racing here by Fernando Alonso. What a race for the Alpine driver. He is running second here. This will be the second, or might be the second podium. Of course, it's not over for the Spaniard, but there goes Charles Leclerc. He will be able to open his rear wing there as well. In the background, you can see an amazing fight between Verstappen, Hamilton, and ourselves again. We got a good restart there, and we're able to go alongside Hamilton into turn 1, but now our tires are beginning to become more and more of an issue once more, as Leclerc is still very close to the Alpine. But now let's look what's happening with us here. We're being attacked by Mick Schumacher into the Parabolica. We managed to fend off the German, but not the greatest run through that Parabolica. Can't even talk anymore at the prospect of that exciting sprint here to the line. Last lap, and Mick Schumacher moves past out of turn 1. We are once again early on the brakes, not confident in our tires anymore. And Ricciardo moves past as well. So a brilliant race for Schumacher and Ricciardo here as well. Oh, and Leclerc had to drop off the back of Alonso. He still has DRS, but he had to defend from Max Verstappen there. Oh, in the end, might Verstappen even extend his championship lead? This is crucial. If he moves past Leclerc, this is a big opportunity here to bridge that gap, or extend that gap a little more. And oh, there they go. Leclerc trying to attack Alonso, but I think Verstappen is in the prime position to even take second here. No, he does not take seconds, but he moves past Charles Leclerc at least. So Verstappen up into the podium spots, and there might be no Ferrari on the podium at Monza. Well, I think it is, because there's only the Parabolica to go, and we tried to attack Ricciardo and Schumacher there as well. So Ricciardo moved past Schumacher and is now running in 6th. We're still in 8th here, so still points. And oh yeah, that is the end of the race. Once again a safety car. I don't know what happened. We will look at that shortly, but we will finish this race under a safety car. There's once again been an incident in the last lap of this race. This is Sainz. We've seen how he dropped down in that Lance Stroll incident, and then he gets spun around by Pierre Gasly. Spins across the track once again, causing a traffic jam. And there goes George Russell, finishing this race under the safety car, winning at the Italian Grand Prix ahead of a big Ferrari crowd. George Russell takes his second win of the season. And these are the full results. Not only did George Russell win, but he also had the fastest lap, so an extra point goes to the Mercedes driver as well. Fernando Alonso finished an impressive second podium of the season for him and Alpine. Max Verstappen, we've seen how he overtook Charles Leclerc ahead of the Variante Ascari, just ahead of that last safety car under which we finished this race. Charles Leclerc in 4th, Hamilton only in 5th, despite a great race. Unfortunate with the safety car for him. Daniel Ricciardo then 6th, finally a very impressive race by the Australian. Monza is his race. He won here last season, and he did score a lot of points here this year as well. Mick Schumacher then the first points of his season, finally in 7th ourselves. We finished still our career best in 8th. It could have been more, but yeah, we still very happy about that. Nico Hülkenberg in 9th and Nick de Vries in 10th, so Porsche finally with another points finish for both cars. Lando Norris, well, tough luck for him, he's 11th. Valtteri Bottas 12th. Then we have Tsunoda, Ocon, Magnussen, Gasly, Kobayashi, Perez, very disappointing race for the Red Bull driver. He was stuck in traffic after his pit stop and was not able to move up the order. We've seen how hard it is to do so with Charles Leclerc as well. Sebastian Vettel the 19th, Carlos Sainz 20th, 21st is Alex Albon, then we have Latifi and Joe. The final finish of today, Lance Stroll did not finish. We've seen that in the replay. Well, and this is the current situation at the Drivers' Championship. Max Verstappen extends his championship lead slightly and is now 9 points ahead of Charles Leclerc, though nothing decided yet. There is still 3 more races to go. George Russell moves back into the championship contention and is now on 147 points. Then we have Lewis Hamilton, still with mathematical chances, but unfortunately he probably is out of it, and George Russell is the best bet for Mercedes to still get that Drivers' Championship. Carlos Sainz then in 5th. Alonso moves past Sergio Perez and is now in 6th. Embarrassing for Sergio, as his teammate is in the championship lead with more than double the points he has. Esteban Ocon in 8th, Lando Norris 9th, Nico Hülkenberg moves back into 10th, ourselves we move into 11th, Daniel Ricciardo 12th. So good race weekend for the 3 I mentioned now. Sebastian Vettel drops down to 13th, and then we have Bottas, Stroll, Schumacher, Tsunoda, De Vries, Gasly, Magnussen, Joe, Latifi and Kobayashi and Albon, the only drivers to not score any points so far, but both have a P11 finish, so yeah, unlucky for them. And this now is the Constructors' Championship. Mercedes still in the lead and even extended their lead today, the only one of the top 3 teams to score with both of their drivers, so that is looking very good for the reigning Constructors' Champions. Ferrari then in 2nd, Red Bull 3rd, Alpine 4th, an easy 4th, and I think that is almost a sealed deal now that Alpine will finish best of the rest. McLaren 5th, Porsche moves back into 6th, Aston Martin therefore drops to 7th, and then it's a very, very interesting battle here in the lower midfield. STV Racing, our team, in 8th with on 11 points. Haas is 9th on 10 points. AlphaTauri 10th on 10 points and Alfa Romeo 11th on 8 points. So very, very interesting. So I think from P6 onwards everything is all to play for, but I'm sure Williams will remain in 12th. I don't see them go into the double digits this season anymore, except of course chaos happens in one of the 3 final races. Well, and that has been it for the Italian Grand Prix. What an exciting one. Might have even been the race of the season. But, as I said, 3 more races to come. And yeah, it's going to be very, very exciting to see what happens at the championship, but also what happens for ourselves, as we are right in the mix there. The next race will be the Japanese Grand Prix at Suzuka. So tune in for that as well. Subscribe to not miss anything going on this channel. And yeah, leave a like if you enjoyed the video, and I hope to see you all the next time. Until then, goodbye.